Having a clear vision achieve or help you achieve the level of success?
I mean, that's it, right? That's,
Is that it?
That's everything. It's important because it's like, no matter what you're doing, if you're driving cars, your vision is like one of the most important things. How well you see. If you're boxing, you're fighting, how well you see gives you a huge advantage, right? So how well you see where you're trying to go informs your activity. So based on how well you see, right, how clearly you can see things, you can then go, I know exactly where I'm going, what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it, right? And typically you can see things better than other people or sooner than other people. So with that, you have a lot of confidence in how you move. I see what I see. You might not be able to see it, but I know if I go off and, buy this car, as an example.
That could be a distraction.
Because I know, well, it could be a distraction, but it could also be, I think Jay Leno said, man, it was his best investment ever is when he bought his McLaren F1, because that car is now $30 million.
Jeez.
But he knew because he saw something that other people didn't see. Usually cars aren't going to ever be the best investment you ever make, but he had a vision and he's able to follow that vision, right? Now, skewed is you're trying to, convince your wife you need to buy that car, right? And you're saying that. Now you're skewed. It's cloudy because you have an ulterior motive. And you're buying it not because you see something that the world doesn't see or everybody else hasn't seen yet, but you're just trying to convince yourself.
We all make mistakes. Entrepreneurs probably make more than any other individuals.
Yeah. But they have a position, right? We're only going to have a hint of flavor. Follow that vision, right? Not because you see something that the world doesn't see or everybody else hasn't seen yet, but you're just trying to convince yourself.
We all make mistakes. Entrepreneurs probably make more than any other individuals.
Yeah.
What are the top three or one that comes to mind in terms of mistakes made by entrepreneurs that prevent them from growing revenue? What personally have you experienced? You can share.
Getting too comfortable.
Getting too comfortable.
Yeah, getting too comfortable is one of the biggest mistakes that we make because, we work so hard, right? You're trying, you're grinding, you got to figure it out, and then you get comfortable. And so I think
that's always a temptation.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen. Period. The other one is not having guideposts, having goals, having numbers that you're chasing, because you're working for yourself essentially, right? You're never working for yourself. You're working for your customers, right? You're working for your employees, so you're never really working for yourself. But you're that whole idea, you're working for yourself, so you don't have someone to answer to that says, wait a minute, as long as you can pay everybody and you can get paid, then you're okay. But you should have goals that are pushing you forward or pulling you really hard to a particular thing. If you don't have those things, you tend to ease up. So one of the big mistakes is not setting hard goals, doing hard reviews to say, how do I get there? And continuing to have a sense of urgency around achieving those goals. If you're doing that, you're staying hungry, you're moving fast, you're moving hard, you're making the right decision, you're not adding a lot of fat. And if you do that, I think you'll continue to grow.
Standing next to these cars, I'm truly inspired. For somebody that is feeling the same way, I'm sure a lot of you are, but has no money, has that passion to be an entrepreneur, to become a millionaire, where would I start to get on that path? I have no money. I don't have a lot of assets, TJ, but I want to get to where you are.
There's no generic answer, right? Because it depends on who you are, right? Do you have, are you amazing at sales or marketing? Are you amazing at some technical skill or some gift that you have? For me, I was a coder, and I leveraged that into building a consulting company where I could train other people to do what I did, right? So that I built a company. As a younger person, someone getting started,
right?
One, you have to build a skill. If you can't help people, the fastest way to become a millionaire is to help a lot of people, right?
That's pretty cool. And what's amazing about that, TJ, is it's not age limited, right? You could be a teenager and start a company under your parents' name or something like that if you have that entrepreneurial mindset from a young age like you did.
Yeah.
That's what's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, and my daughter, she has it,
yeah,
right? So she just got her first customer.
And she's only 20 years old.
And she's doing social media management, right?
Beautiful.
So social media management, and the idea for us is, how do you get to become a millionaire by 25? So we sit down and we build that plan. And so we decided, here's what we're going to focus on. There's a lot of things to focus on. But the important thing is to focus on something and start. Some people are trying to figure out, well, I can't get to $1 million. And that's not how it starts, bro. It starts by getting one customer and then figuring out how to keep that customer and then figuring out how to build a process to keep that customer and then figuring out how to build an engine to do the work, right? Without you having to do the work.
That's where the people come in.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to start there. But some people are trying to start way too big, right? Well, this won't make me $1 million. So they spin their wheels. They're in a spin cycle.
Okay. Don't spin your wheels, you guys. Listen to TJ. He knows what he's talking about. What are the defining characteristics of a millionaire mindset?
One, ambition, can do, will do, gonna do. It's just a matter of time. I'm keeping at this thing. There's this resolve and there's this quiet confidence that knows that, hey, I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing. I can do the right thing. No matter what happens, I'll get back. I used to always say if I bumped my head today and forgot everything I knew about technology, I'll still become a millionaire.
Are some of those things you're born with versus developed?
There's some people that have better judgment than others. Some people have better intuition than others. Some people have better charm and better charisma and stuff than others. But I think a lot of things can be built, right, in terms of skills to become successful in business. The one great thing about business, right, is that when you think about athletes at the highest level, these guys got to be the best at it.
Absolutely.
Right? The best at it. They're not going to be there. Entrepreneurs don't have to be. There's plenty of entrepreneurs, plenty of millionaires that are pretty average, right? But they're beating people. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are beating people by just doing the work, And a lot of times, most entrepreneurs aren't really at the top of their game. There's some that are really, really killing it at the top of the game, but a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people that are making millions are really just above average. So my point is that the bar isn't as high as people think to become successful in business.
As a new entrepreneur, TJ, I would imagine it's hard for me to be involved in some high net worth network groups, right? Where would your advice be to where can I start to at least start building relationships like yourself? And how important is that for you as an entrepreneur ultimately? Yeah, building networks are super important, but I think you have to look at it instead of like this broad term of I'm building this network, I'm building a relationship with a particular individual, right? So if you look at it that way, I think that's more helpful. So in that way, do it one person at a time and really build a relationship with them. And when you're building a relationship with someone, it's like, wait, what do we have in common? How can I add value to your life? So now that I know you, I can be like, hey, Paul, this guy would be great for your show. You guys are located near each other, blah, 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 right? That's adding value to you, right? You know more about me. You'd be like, hey, TJ, man, here's some business. Somebody wants to sell their business, or someone needs help, or someone needs mentoring. You might send them over to my way, right? So that's building authentic relationship. So by providing real value with people. So where are people going to find those high value networks? This in normal places, like go to car meets, right? There's high value individuals at car meets, right? And so you can vibe on the love of cars. You can vibe on the love of anything, archery. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever the hobby is, go do that thing. Go be around that thing in an authentic way, because people will sniff out you being fake. But the other thing is with the networks though, don't be afraid to ask the question. Don't be afraid to use the network, because sometimes people build these relationships but are waiting for the special moment when they can ask the person a question or try to activate their network. Ask people the questions that you need to ask them to move forward. What are the day-to-day habits that I should focus on to just develop and continue to develop that millionaire mindset, like anything is possible?
Yeah. I think starting early. Getting up, getting at it early. My whole idea is to get more done by noon than most people do all day.
Oh, wow.
Right? So that's one. I think building a list of things that you're going to get done and committing to getting that thing done that day. Helping to inspire other people is important, because you're preaching to the choir. You're inspiring yourself. When you're going out, you're like, hey, look, let me, I got a lot of people that I coach and mentor, right? So it's like, hey, I'm coaching and mentoring those people. And in that case, it could be your little brother, your little sister, right? But my point is just living a life that would inspire you, right? Just keep doing that. And also having a night routine as well. So having a way to end your day so that you get off to a really fast, good start.
What's the flip side of just, habits that sabotage the success that we can achieve in our lives?
Not being consistent, not wanting to be consistent. I think you have to have a little bit of faith, knowing that, hey, I'm doing this thing, it's going to lead me to where I want to go. And I think that's important. But I think some of the things that really, really kill your ability to be successful, and I mean, I don't even know if I can say this on your
Whatever's
channel,
on your heart.
but guys out chasing skirt, all the time, guys out drinking too much or, smoking weed and stuff like that, that kind of stuff is going to kill your chances for success. And what I mean by that is like, the things in and of themselves is not maybe those things, but you can't get up, right? You can't beat the same you that's not doing those things.